Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So guys, I asked what our conversation was going to be about today, and what I heard is lunar portal is opened. So we're not surprised, right? We're not surprised because tonight is the blood moon lunar eclipse. So really, we're not surprised. All right, let me do my final shuffle of this final deck. Pull some cards. While I'm doing that, I will be live later this evening to do the blood moon lunar eclipse live stream. We're going to be doing a little fire ceremony. If you would like me to work on you tonight during the fire ceremony, just click on that link or the QR code in the comment, or click on the QR code on the screen or the link in the comment. If you are on TikTok, please go ahead and click on my profile and the link in the bio. That is where you go. Alrighty. La, 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 la. Oh, and I finally added the Lilith armor that we were talking about for like the past how many days that I said I was going to add it. I said I was going to add it. You know, y'all, I be busy sometimes. Sometimes meaning all the time. Every day. Okay. There we go. Okay. These energies are intense. Let's get that off the screen. Oh, did I not have that on the screen? Did I already? I don't know. I don't look at the screen. I look at the camera. And so I have no idea what I put on the screen. So if you want an expedite for tonight, go ahead and click on that now. All right. Let's get started. Okay. Good. I like that. I like that. Okay. Oh, this is a whole story, you guys. Okay. So with this lunar portal opened up, look at this, stability in reverse. This is telling me that for those of you who are very sensitive to lunar energies, you're going to feel a little bit rocked, a little bit destabilized. It's going to be okay. It's definitely going to be okay. But if you don't know in advance that this is something that you could potentially experience, that sensation of being kind of like destabilized, then you might freak out. Don't worry. It's just the shifting that's happening. And as all of this shifting occurs, then you will feel more and more acclimated. So it's really not going to be too much of a big deal. Now, when people begin to feel destabilized, our knee-jerk reaction is to halt our healing. As you are being kind of rocked back and forth within your life because of the lunar energies, and it's beginning tonight, you know, that really shakes up the sediment. It causes the things, the emotions, the traumas that have settled deeper into your field to begin rising back up. And so you'll begin feeling very just some type of way. Michael is saying to me, it sounds like you're trying to convince people they're going to be okay. Well, I mean, they are. They're not going to feel like it as it's happening, but they're definitely going to be okay. I said, as long as I'm clarifying. Don't worry. You're going to need to just contain that fear. You're going to need to contain the things that are making you feel some type of way. You're going to need to make sure you put some effort into reminding yourself. Whatever things from the past rise up from wherever you've stored it within yourself, you'll be able to handle that. You will. You'll be able to handle that. You just need to find the courage to begin looking at some of the things that have happened in your life, just for what it is, an opportunity to learn something intense, learn something profound that can really go a long way to empower you through your journey. I just feel like the things that we feel is a big deal, when you give it enough time and then you allow yourself to look back from a space of neutral emotions, kind of just looking back, you begin to realize it wasn't a big deal. I don't know why I was tripping. You know what I mean? Look at your life. Look at the things that have happened. You've gotten through these things already. You don't have to be afraid about remembering. You've already gotten through it. When you allow yourself to look back, when you allow yourself to remember and then be open to realizations that you weren't prepared to have as you were going through it, you'll begin to see, like, oh, that's what that was teaching me. Everything in your life is teaching you something. Now, I really like this because as you begin to contain your fear, as you begin to contain your aversion to the very process that will help to grow you, you step into a space of magic. You start to really just begin to feel how freaking magical you are. This is a period where the blockages that have been in place, like emotional blockages, mental blockages, energetic blockages, those all interconnect. And when you have blockages on any of those levels, eventually they will create blockages on one of the other ones. So, energetic blockage can then become an emotional blockage, which then can become, a mental block you're going to avoid. Those blockages are now being cleared for dissolving. And the dissolving process, when you begin to allow a blockage to dissolve, you're going to need to experience some recall of what happened to create that blockage. Unfortunately, that's just part of it. It's not about needing to relive it. If you're very averse, then yes, it will feel like you're reliving it. But the more you flow, the more you allow yourself to just look at what happened, the less it's going to rock you to your core. It's when we fight our process that we get shook to our core. I don't know about you guys. I don't like to be shook. Are you kidding me? That's like the fastest way to get me to throw elbows and knees. Like, you want to shake me? Please. I'm not a shake weight. Are you kidding me? Like, reason with me. Tell me what you need me to process. And if it resonates, I will process it. If it feels like it's time for me to do that, then I will. But if you're going to just try and be forceful and shake me, I get reactive. I get reactive. So that's kind of what's happening right now. It's like you're telling your soul you have no other option but to shake me in order to get me to process. And then, of course, your soul ain't tripping. Your soul is not tripping, I promise you that. So then it will shake you the way you requested. And then when it shakes you, you're all like, why did you shake me? Because you asked me to. That's what soul's going to tell you, because you asked me to. Right? So just let yourself step into your magic, allow those blockages to dissolve, and then you'll begin to realize, like, wow, man, I really am powerful. Yes, the fuck you are. I've been telling you this for years. I've been telling you this for years. You are so ridiculously powerful over yourself and your life. And part of the reason why you don't realize this is because you're so busy comparing yourself to someone else's process. Like, stop. Just observe yourself. Not to see how you're messing up. Like, that's just observe yourself, and you'll begin to see the way you've moved through your process has been powerful. You've been the root source of all the beautiful, tremendous, life altering change. Sometimes it's as simple as shifting your perception 1 degree, where you go from really angry to just calm. Like, okay, rather than becoming reactive, like, what do I need to do right now? This portal that's opened, there's a few things with it, but what I want to focus on right now is the positivity, the advanced, elevated, and accelerated potentiality for full manifestation, bringing the details that will create the life of your dreams to full fruition. This is not about like completely changing your life. This is about allowing the little bits of change here and there and there and there and there and there and there and there. And it's nothing major. It's nothing that's going to shock you and make you feel like you were so wrong and so broken. No, it's just little tiny changes. But after it's done, you'll just be seeing yourself from a completely different perspective, one that allows for you to see yourself clearly in your beauty, in your purpose, in your power. It's time. It's really, really time. You just have to allow it. And this process is going to bring a lot of passion up. Now, if you're still functioning from a negative mindset, that passion is going to feel like anger and possibly rage. If you are functioning from a more neutral mindset, it could be something like excitement. If you're functioning from a space of really harnessing and claiming your power, it can feel like an unfuckweathable nature has fucking risen from your core. You know what I mean? You're like, in your power. Good. Roll with it, babe. Roll with it. Roll with it. If you're feeling that already, like shit, do something powerful. Do something ballsy. I'm serious. Do something ballsy. I mean, you're already harnessing all of this energy. Might as well do something like really, really just, holy shit, did I really just do that? Type of decision. I think you'll make it happen. As long as you don't halt that process right before you get to the end, some of us will do that. Don't halt that process. See it all the way through. And then you're going to be like, well, what if I fail? Well, you will for sure fail if you pull back now. Did you realize that? Failure is usually that sense of failure. It's usually born of you pulling your energy back right at the last minute and then everything falls apart. Yeah. If you just let your energy ride like all the way through, I mean, I remember I went with some business associates to Las Vegas. It was years ago. And I didn't really want to gamble at the tables just because I'm not a table person. I'm more of like a solo gambler. I love slot machines. Yay. Yeah, no, it's actually not yay. But I love slot machines and they didn't want to play slots. So we went to the tables. And of course I had a precognitive hit and it was like, ooh, we're gonna win. We're gonna win so big. And they really liked that. So because I saw it at a table, they were insistent that we play at tables. And there was a specific table that we were told by another person we should play there, a person who didn't even travel with us. And so we were like, okay, we'll look for that table and we'll play there. So we played at different tables. And then eventually we were like, oh, the one cocktail server that this other person told us we had to wait for the girl with the big cha-chas. And once she's there, then we need to go there. And I was like, oh, she's there. So we go there. And one of the guys that was at the table, he had been drinking so much. I was getting tipsy off of the fumes from his breath. I'm so lightweight. And so it was a roulette table. And I was putting chips down. And every single time, right at the last minute, I was giving myself anxiety and I was pulling my energy back. So I wasn't really winning much of anything. And then the final one, I could feel each time the energy surging, 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 surging. And then, of course, I would pull back. But this last time, I could feel the energy surging, surging, surging. And before the ball stopped, someone distracted me. They distracted me. So I didn't get a chance to pull my energy back. And then the ball stopped and I just assumed like, oh, I probably didn't win again. Except the lady she took my chips. And I was like, huh? And then the drunk guy that was beside me, he's like, yeah. I was like, oh, yay. Right. We're like each other. And he was really, really happy. I was like, oh, congratulations. I thought he won. And then the lady was looking at me and she was like, this to the table. I don't know what the fuck any of this means. And then she starts stacking all the chips and then she pushes it towards me. And I'm kind of like, is that for me? And then she pulls it back, and I was like, this is a fucked up thing to do. Like, don't fucking play with me, right? But I'm still just smiling. And then she pulls out other chips from like I think it was like a locked box or something like that. And then she puts it on the table and she goes like this, like, it's like this fucking magic tricks. What's happening here? What's happening? And then the drunk guy, he's like, yeah. And I'm just like, and she hands me the chips, at which point I pick up the chips and my associates are looking at me like, fucking bitch. And I pick up the chips and then I realize what the whole hullabaloo was about. She gave me several chips and they were $500 fucking chips. And I was like, oh, did I win? And I didn't realize that I won. Why? Because I was so distracted by someone. I think someone asked me something, or I don't even remember, but someone distracted me and I couldn't pull my energy back. Right at the last second, which was my habit of pulling my energy back, someone disrupted my self sabotage. And by the time I looked back at the table, the little ball had already settled on its little spot, which happened to be where I had put my little chip. Stop pulling your energy back. Write it all the way through. And if you can write it all the way through, you know what happens? You begin to experience the very things that show you just how fucking powerful you are. You begin to experience that. It's badass. It's a badass experience. You got to experience it at least once in your life. I don't know, maybe for the sanctuary, that's where our church community goes and hangs out. Maybe like we can finally take that trip to Vegas or something, because I would love to see y'all win. I'm just saying. So, shadow, mirror. I think this is a period where you're going to come across a person. You're like going to cross paths with a person who is a mirror of something within your shadow. You're probably going to feel somewhat reactive to them for some reason. I don't know that there's going to be drama. I don't sense drama. I don't sense drama. But I think this person's going to trigger you. Again, I don't think there's going to be drama. I don't feel it, but I feel an intensity in emotion. So this is a person who's going to be a mirror of something within you. Maybe your power. I'm not sure. Whatever it is, they're going to be the catalyst for you clearing out the things that need to be cleared out. Like you're dusting off your magic and you are stepping into that primary space, that primary role. You need to. It's okay for people to inspire you. It's okay for people to kind of bounce ideas. You bounce your ideas off of other people, get their opinion and have conversation. But really, you need to be the one deciding everything in your life. You just do. You need to be the one to do these things for yourself. You need to take control. Taking control is not always an aggressive maneuvering. It's not. Sometimes it's a decision to just be like, okay, hold on. All right, now let's see what needs to be done. And let me make a choice here. Which direction do I want this to go? And then sticking with that choice. It doesn't have to be confrontational all the time. So when you do that, you're no longer needing to hope that something outside of you will make this happen for you. As this portal opens up, this is really about diving deep within yourself, gaining an idea, a true idea of what confidence actually is. For many people, they think confidence is just this, I don't know, confidence is this like just distorted concept. It's almost like people think that in order to be confident, you have to have no fear and you have to be very just like chasing things. I don't know that that's what confidence is. I don't know that that's what it is. I think confidence is more about just allowing yourself to make decisions and then getting out of your own way. A lot of people have told me in the past something along the lines of, I wish I had your confidence. And I always am like, confident? The fuck does that mean? I don't identify myself as confident. I don't. Uh, society's society's perception of what confident is, I don't feel that. Despite the fact that I don't feel confident, I also don't feel insecure. I don't know, wrap your mind around that. Staying in that middle space where I can acknowledge that I don't feel as confident as people seem to perceive me as, but I also recognize I'm not insecure. I kind of am just existing, open to the potentialities and possibilities, allowing my soul and the energies of the environment that I enter into to facilitate and support whatever my mission objective is in that moment. Being able to do that, it's really opened many, many doors for me. It's given me the opportunity to see that I have all of the tools and all of the raw material to construct my own doors that I have the authority to open and close at will. I love that. Firefly says self-assurance. Let's see. Okay. Confidence in one's own abilities or character. I don't know that I have that either. I don't know that I have belief in myself. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if I'm even making sense. um, hmm. I am God frequency. Yes. Self-awareness. The fullness of self-awareness. I'm just aware. I am aware, and if things are going in a direction that I'm aware I don't want, then I make the necessary shifts to divert my path to a different direction. And I really have no solidified expectations as to the details that get me to the end result. I just have an awareness that no matter what I do, no matter what I decide, as long as I hold within my mind that end result, that is what I will have. If that makes sense. I don't know. I don't know. My brain just doesn't function like most people's brain. And so it's, to me, I don't know any other way to exist. That's just kind of how I exist. So I don't know how to explain it. You have belief in your soul and its guidance. I do. I believe in my soul's guidance. Yes. For me, it seems more like knowledge of oneself. I also have a knowing that I have the capacity to overcome any obstacle that's presented to me. If I can't find a way around it, over it, under it, I will bulldoze all the fucking way through it. Don't piss me off. I'm serious. Don't piss me off. Cause then I'll be like, okay, I'm done being nice. I'm just gonna fucking bulldoze all the way through. Just all the way through. Just bulldoze right through. You know? I don't know how to describe it though. Because you're not attached to the outcome. Yes, I'm not attached to the outcome in that space of like, please, 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 please. It's kind of just like, it either will be or it won't. Most likely it will be because my life experiences have shown me that I'm just stubborn as hell. I am stubborn. So once I put my mind to something, like there's no way it's not going to happen because I will keep fucking going until it happens. There's no way it's not going to happen. But I'm not like that with everything. That's why I don't have that confidence. It's only certain things that reverberate within my core. Things that are communicated to me by my soul through my heart, received and interpreted by my mind. When it goes through that process, there's no way, there's no option to fail. That's not even a potentiality. There might be delays, there might be distractions, there might be inconveniences, but all of that will be overcome because ain't no fucking way. I don't think so. But again, I'm not like that for everything. I'm not like that for everything. So when I do get like that, I become hyperfixated. And when I get hyperfixated to that degree, I know this is an instruction from soul and I will follow it all the way through. All the way through, right? All the way through. Coming full circle, totally comfortable with your own existence without embellishments. Oh, I love that. I love that. The lack of embellishments. Because when you embellish something, it's almost like the thing that's being embellished is not enough as it is. And so you need other things outside of it to kind of help people get convinced of the actual value of the thing. That right there. That right there. That right there. No more embellishments. No more strategizing. Just that existence in its rawest, purest, most unadulterated form. Knowing that everything that's happening in this moment is leading you to the next moment and the next moment and the next moment, assuring the outcome that soul says must happen. I mean, it's been a process to get to that mindset, but it's been very empowering now that I realize where I'm at within the process. So, love in reverse. This is about you not realizing how much you deserve and how capable you are of bringing what you are allowing yourself to receive into full fruition. This is the period where you can do that. That lunar portal is open. Now, you got to be careful. You're not a fledgling anymore. For those of you who have been part of my community for some time now, and quite a few of you have, you're not a fledgling anymore. You're not a newbie to this. You've been through cycle after cycle after cycle of ascension mechanics. You're not a newbie. Start using your energy intentionally. Start using your intent in a powerful way. Use it with authority. Speak your life into existence. Have you really been living? Or have you simply been playing character after character after character, depending on who the people in the environment you're currently existing in are inviting to come out of you? Because playing a character is not existing in your truth. It's not existing in your most authentic space. It kind of is just playing along with someone else's story. You're not a fledgling. You are not something that needs to depend on someone else or something else to bring to full fruition the very things that you have already been working so hard for. This is a period where soul is trying to be as supportive as possible. The potentialities are wide open. The energies are already ramping up. I'm super curious to see what is happening with that Schumann resonance. Let's see. Today's a 13. Okay. March 13, 2025. I don't want to play someone else's video. Okay, let's see. The blood moon has a Schumann resonance, Schumann frequency forcing new resets and new levels, new rules. It's asking us, now that you've completed your lesson on understanding, now we want to see what you will do when the power is given to you to use. Absolutely. That's what I feel. That's what I feel that. I feel that so deeply. That's what's happening right now. But I want to see where the heck it's at. Why? Let me just calm down. Let me calm down because it's just continuing to show me people's posts. Here, NASA. That's not what I want either. Well, you know what? I don't even care. Close it out. Schumann resonance is doing whatever Schumann does. It's doing whatever it does, and it's tied to what the moon is doing right now. The moon is preparing to be used as a launching pad for all sorts of different types of purpose. How much can I say? Okay, hold on, guys. This reading is about to get really intense. So if you scare easy, now's the time to pop right off. To hop off the live because it's about to get real intense. If you're not familiar with me, just know that some of the information that I'm privy to that I end up sharing on the live streams can be really, really, really fucking scary for some people. Ooh. Is something happening in Florida right now? I just got a notification, Florida in big trouble. Now, it has to do with the housing market, but is there some type of weather or something event happening? I'm not sure. I haven't been online all morning. I've been off doing crazy shit. So, everyone that gets scared easy is already hopped off. Good. Don't get pissed at me if you get scared easy and you're still on the live stream. Okay. I gave you an opportunity to. I'm going to give you another 10 seconds. Let me just moisturize my lips because the shit I'm about to say is extra dry. Michael says people think I'm joking. No. He says, you don't seem scared. So people are thinking it's not going to be scary. Well, because to me, it's not scary. It's just some demon Horita shit. Like, who gives a damn at this point? Okay, final warning. Oh, there's a tornado. Whoo. Okay, so that I'll tap back into that. Thank you, Wolf Skull Splitter. So this lunar stuff that's happening, it started today. A lot of tritonal frequencies, they're being run in reverse. This reverse tritonal frequency is intended to cause you to forget exactly who and what you belong to. For many of us, what we're being pushed into a space of remembering is our actual galactic lineage. When you begin to remember your galactic lineage and you begin to really tap in to the ancestry of your soul, that is you allowing yourself to receive the bounty of the power and abilities that it took how many of your ancestors to develop just for you to use. It's like that program that they run where they've convinced, and because I want to remain completely removed from any race based arguments, I will speak in more general terms. They have convinced whoever's running these programs and pushing these agendas, they have convinced that a specific type of people, a specific complexion of people are all Egyptians. Egypt is a really small place. They've convinced quite a few people as though the entirety of the continent is Egypt. It's not. It's a very small space. It's a very, very small country. Now, why would they do that? Well, because if you're trying to claim the power of another bloodline, you won't have any power. You won't have the power because those are not your ancestors. That's why. That's not to say there are no melanated peoples that have come from Egypt. There absolutely have been. But to say the entirety of it comes from I don't know about that. That's like to say that all Asians are from China. No. 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 Mm-mm. If I didn't know my bloodline, my actual bloodline, I would not be aware of the gravity of what my ancestors just in this life have gifted me. My great grandfather, my mother's grandfather, exceptional bilocation capabilities. He could bilocate and geolocate lost livestock. Your water buffalo's missing. You go to him. He'll tell you, oh, it went down the field over there. It's over behind the tree. If I didn't know that, I'd be like, oh, am I tripping? Oh my God, what the fuck is this bilocation stuff? I have highly developed ability to bilocate. This is why I never have to meet any client. I don't need to know your name. I don't need to see your face. I don't need to be in the same space as you. As long as I know you exist, I can access and read you. Now, the whole reading part, my great grandfather's daughter, which is my mother's mom, she's a fucking healer, hands-on healer. She could scan and detect hairline fracture. I can do that too. That gift skipped everyone in my family, and all of it was accumulated and given to me. Ain't that some shit? Now, if I was still busy, because when I was young, I greatly identified with my last life right before this. I was present for the world wars. I was Japanese in those world wars. And man, when I was a kid, I was hell bent and pissed off if anyone called me Filipino, because I'd be like, I'm Japanese. Like, girlfriend, you not Japanese. I laugh about it now, but it was so serious back then. It was so for real for me. Like, I need to go back home. When are you going to take me back to Japan? And my parents, they were sick of my shit. They were like, you're never going to Japan. Who are you going to see in Japan? I don't know, my family. They didn't like that. Could you imagine raising a child like me who I was still heavily connected to that last existence, right? If I didn't go through what I needed to go through to accept, to embrace the actuality of my ancestry in this life, I would have never allowed myself to acknowledge, much less accept, the gifts that my ancestors gave me. Each generation gifted me something. My great grandfather gifted me bilocation. My grandmother gifted me bioscanning. My mother gifted me her ability to be a savant. Yes, we're both ridiculously awkward, socially speaking. But our capacity to learn, it just is what it is. If I was too busy trying to force my identity to be something else, try and convince myself that I came from something else, I would have never been able to fully explore the gifts that my ancestors in this life gave me. Now, imagine the degree of this gifting on a soul level, because you have soul ancestry as well, both on planet and off planet. They don't want you to remember where you came from. Why? Why? Because you can't get your ancestral gifts if you don't. You can't receive that. It's like, I'll give you an example that might make more sense if you guys are not quite following what I'm saying. Say you were born into a tribe of indigenous people. They are a recognized sovereign nation in the United States of America. And because they're a recognized sovereign nation and you are part of that genealogy, it's documented, you are entitled to receive that monthly amount given by the government kind of as like reparations, right? except you were raised off the reservation. You never had contact with your relatives who are part of this sovereign nation that is recognized by the United States federal government. And so you're not getting your money because you've been convinced that that you're a different ethnicity. You are a different, you come from a different people. You don't identify as that. And because you don't identify as that, and everything in your environment is convincing you that you're something else, because maybe at a period of time it was seen for whatever reason as embarrassing to identify as Indigenous. Damn, that sucks. You're missing out on a lot. You're missing out on a lot. Let's say, like, if you guys are familiar with Southern California, you come from Pachenga. You come from the tribe that owns a fucking casino. Hot diggity damn. All the registered tribe members, they get a portion of the earnings. And some people will tell you, like, oh my gosh, she's just talking about greed. I'm talking about motherfucking birthright. Are you kidding me right now? That's not about greed. That's about your birthright. Please stop. Stop. Allow yourself to receive the very thing that has been set aside for you. That's crazy, to give away the very thing that was gifted to you by your ancestors. You are entitled to that. So I have a very elevated capability of distance healing. Excuse me. I don't like to claim that, simply because it creates this whole legal liability stuff. I don't like to claim that. But the evidence of my work absolutely supports that claim. Where did I get that from? That degree of capability to heal, it exceeds what my grandmother gifted me. Where did I get that from? My soul ancestors. My final filtering before entering into this life, I was filtered through Arcturus. When sometimes you feel my energy surge and then suddenly you're super cold, that's Arcturian energy. I used to deny all of that. People have told me for years, you look Arcturian. You fucking look like an alien. And I'd be like, you're so rude. Oh my God. Why would you say that? Because I do look alien. I do, especially when I'm very lean. My eyes look really big for my head. And I look Arcturian. When I began to explore that, because I lost the shame, I then began to experience exponential elevation in my capacity to access so that I could help heal. You got to let your ancestors gift you with whatever it is you need to be gifted. They don't want you remembering what you belong to so that you don't receive what you are entitled to receive. It's not about greed. Anyone who's going to try and convince you that you trying to receive what you are entitled to receive by virtue of your birthright, that is someone who is gaslighting you. They are gaslighting you. It's not for me to say who you belong to, what you belong to, and this and that. That's not the point I'm trying to make. I'm saying they're trying to convince you belong to things and peoples that you don't, so you never fully claim what it is that you actually come from. You know why? Indigenous peoples across the globe are heavily connected to Lemuria. many, many, many indigenous peoples from Northern America, Central America, and Southern America are highly melanated people. But they would rather you be ashamed of being grouped with indigenous and claim you're from some little tiny space that maybe you don't belong to. They don't want you tapping into your power. Before you claim you're from something, find out first. I mean, maybe you are from Egypt. I don't know. I'm not trying to convince you you're not. I'm trying to say, find out. Find out. Become very, very curious about your lineage. Be open. Stop playing into these programs where they're trying to convince you, right? They're trying to convince you of what? Some stereotype. It's some type of stereotype. Stop playing into that. Really tap into your truth, to your power. Tap into your ancestors. They don't want you to know. Why? Because right now, a massive download is en route. It's coming. I already feel it. I've been feeling it since this morning. I woke up like I think at 3 or 4 in the morning, just laying there like it is not time. It is not time to be awake. The fuck? This is precious rejuvenation sleep I'm missing out on. I'm just like, it is what it is. It is what it is. I could feel the energies. So with all of those energies coming through, we're starting to step into the scary, allegedly scary part of the reading. It's going to affect all living things, furred, feathered, and haired. Right? It's going to begin affecting all living things. It's intended to affect all living things in a detrimental manner. A lot of this frequency, and unless you're highly, highly sensitive to frequency, you're probably not going to notice so much until way later. You're probably going to notice it more tomorrow. Okay. If you don't notice it at all, consider yourself lucky. Like, why would you want to feel ugly? Like, these are ugly feelings. Ugly. They're not ugly emotions. They're sensations that don't feel natural, don't feel invited or welcome in my space, but it doesn't feel like something, some being is attempting to breach my defenses. It doesn't feel like that at all. It feels like something is bathing the entirety of my existence or attempting to with something disharmonic, something that is disrespectful to my sovereign existence. Why would they do that? Why would this happen? Because the lunar portal is open. Portals, unless they are locked and encrypted by higher beings with dominant consciousness, anything can use that portal. Anything can use that as a delivery method. This blood moon lunar eclipse, it is not an encrypted portal. So anything can use it. And the majority of the frequency that's coming through is to create enough disharmonic frequency to halt your manifestation capability. This is a very small window we're working with that you can use to call into being the various potentialities that have already been very carefully selected, very, very carefully placed within proximity to you. All you have to do is call it home. All you have to do is call it home. Let it enter. Let your life be changed in the most beautiful, power beneficial way. This has been a set aside for you. It's been set aside a long time ago. A long, long time ago. Let it happen. Call it home. Now, part of what else is happening, all of that frequency that we're being bathed with, it's to distort your life force energy. What does that mean? Most of the world, regardless of what you believe, regardless of what you practice, regardless of what region you're located in, most of the world is now exiting out of that phase lock state. So now here comes the really scary part. Lilith is not intrinsically evil, but she has an aspect of her consciousness that is very distorted, very corrupted by demonic influence since her entire history, basically, right? So the distorted portion of Lilith's consciousness has been set loose and she's been running rampant. That portion of her consciousness has been running rampant for quite a few days, if not a week or two. She's being used to prime people in such a way that they become so destabilized that as they are evolving, they're not evolving to their highest potentiality. Instead, their elevated manifestation capability in this period is being used to get them to choose to compact. This will result in quite a few different things. The acceleration of your molecular compaction. That means disease is much more easily embedded as a potentiality in your field. Another thing is you are actually choosing to compact your field and thus phase lock yourself again. This is a sovereign choice. So that means you're choosing it, whether you're consciously aware or whether this is something you're choosing by default because of the reactive state you've entered into. It's really irrelevant. It's been chosen by you to some degree. The last thing that I'm allowed to share, as Lemuria rises from the waters and the waters evaporate back into the atmosphere and rain down on us, we're being bathed by sacred energy. They want to corrupt that. Why? Because if they can corrupt it and you inhale it, it gets absorbed through your skin. And this is all woo-woo stuff. So, okay. If you inhale it, if it gets absorbed through your skin, if it is allowed to enter into your morphogenetic template by way of saturation of your physical body, then through your fascia, it communicates into your template by your chakras and all of that stuff. You can then be used as basically an Uber ride for demonic things. Some people are already primed for this. You'll see that their behaviors have become very, very erratic, very aggressive, very destructive to all their interpersonal connections. You are not going to save those people. This is not a call for the chosen to come out and start saving humanity. No. No. This is about you choosing which way will you go. Are you going to allow the compaction of your energy and your frequency in order to create further distortion and code disruption, accelerating that molecular compaction in order to make you more sick? Or are you going to make the choices that will help you to transcend and be untouchable by any of this caca? What's your choice? What will you choose? So they're pulling out all the stops. What does that mean? Portals are being opened up into the homes. Oh, this is another really scary part, or some people might receive it as scary. To me, it's just informational. It's like you don't want something in your home, you take the steps to seal your home. So not only are they using mirrors, including black mirrors, surfaces, reflective surfaces, they're also using any space that's dark and not heavily occupied by you. Think closets, unused bedrooms, spaces that you don't fully own and occupy within your home, basements, things like that. I don't know about y'all. When I occupy a home, the whole thing belongs to me, all the way out to the property line. Like there is no space for nothing. The other night, I'm notorious for being like this. The other night, I woke up to go tinkle. And I've told you guys before, my master bedroom, the mirrors are fucking huge. They go all the way up to the ceiling, and we have, I don't know, like 12, 13-foot ceilings. So it's really, really high. Like even if I'm standing on the counter, I have to be on tippy toes and I still can't reach the top. And don't point out that I'm short. Like, who gives a fuck? It's that tall, okay? It's that high. So I go to the bathroom and it's pitch black because, like, that hurts my eyes to turn on the light. I want to go back to sleep. So I go to the bathroom. I come out and I see I see this really nasty looking thing in the mirror. And it's going like this in the mirror. Just right as I'm walking, I'm like, bitch, stop. Stay on your side. I don't give a shit. And I went back to sleep. I did. It was like trying to scare me. I was like, it is fucking like 2 a.m. Like, stop your shit. No, just stay on your side. I don't give a shit if you watch me. Who cares? Stay on your side. You can't get through anyways. Don't be fucking bothering me. Just these couple hours I get to sleep, they're precious. They help me to rebuild muscle. I'm just like, bitch, stay on your side. I went back to bed. I was like, most people would be like, oh my God, and they would turn on the light. And, no, you're not allowed in my room. I don't give a shit what kind of sexy dance you're doing. It was very graceful. This is sexy dance. Yeah, some demonic shit was sexy dancing on the other side of the mirror. I don't give a shit. I'm going back to sleep. It's like 2 a.m. It's already begun. It has already begun. And it's up to you if you're going to allow fear to override you. And then you're going to step into a space of reactivity. When you are reactive, that means whatever is poking you is going to be the one in control. Because now that thing that's trying to trigger you is the one determining how you're going to feel and how you're going to act. This shit's not scary to me, like at all. It shouldn't be scary to you, but I understand if you get scared. It's not scary to me. It's just not. So they've been priming stuff, right? There's a show. It's I think it's called Evil or something like that. And I watched a couple episodes of it. It was interesting. And I was kind of just like, at one point they show this like really demonic incubus thing. And it goes into the woman's room and it even pisses in the corner of her room. I was like, ew, you're so fucking rude. It peed in the corner of her room. I was just like, girl, I would get up out of bed, choke slam it, and use its face, put it in the fucking feet like a bad puppy. Don't pee in my room, right? But she was afraid. And it didn't bother me. I was just like, that's so fucking rude. That's nasty. Why would you pee in someone's room? Ew. And we watched a couple more episodes. And then like the next day or the day after, I was going to watch some more. And my husband, who claims he wasn't watching, he's like, please don't watch that. And I was like, why? You don't even watch it. Like, who cares what I watch? And he said he didn't like George. And I was like, who's George? Yo, he was watching it. He was watching the show. He knew the name of the demon. I was like, he said you don't like George. I would be like, George. Is that like a viewer or something? Is that someone in the community? What did they do? I didn't see a George in the comments. No, he was talking about a character in the show. And then I was kind of just thinking about stuff and I realized, oh, they're fucking priming people. So people who already have a sensitivity to being afraid of dark things, being afraid of demonic things. Like I don't have that. I am sensitive to their presence, but I'm not afraid of them. I'm kind of just like, I will fucking slap you if you stay in my space. So what I realized is from this show, and I'm sure there's other shows I'm not aware of, what they're doing is they're priming you to receive the arrival of incubus and succubus in your personal space, in your bedroom. That's planting a subconscious seed. And here's the thing. Lilith is the mother of the succubi and incubi. Those are her children. They are sexual demons. What do you think is coming through the mirrors and the closets? To me, this is not scary. I'm just like, y'all better fight back. Y'all better fight back. Don't let that shit in your space. You better get yourself a little bronzed. This is my bronzed wand, right? Powerful things come in small petite packages. I will expecto patronum the shit out of anything that comes through. No mercy, all patronum, right? So you have to allow yourself to enter into this space of being aware of what you will allow and what you will not allow. What will you allow? What will you not allow? Are you going to cut that off? I would. Shit. Do they pay rent? Do they buy groceries? Do they cover their portion of the utilities? No, they're not allowed in. They're not allowed in. That's a final decision. Or I'm not subletting my closet to a fucking demon, please. Please. Hell no. So that's what's being attempted, right? Attempting to get you all discombobulated within your space, experiencing things from a space of fear, experiencing that fear as something very crippling, very debilitating. And when you do that, then you're rejecting everything at that point, right? Then you can't receive the actual transmissions that are coming through. Because these actual transmissions that are intended to really support your ascension mechanics, these are things that respect your sovereignty. If you say no, it's not going to force its way through. It's not going to force itself upon you. It's only the demonic stuff that will force itself upon you. You need to start making choices. This is a very, very powerful window of opportunity. So for those of you who weren't here earlier, I'm going to be live later this evening for the blood moon lunar eclipse. That's tonight. So I'm going to be doing expedites. I finally loaded the Lilith armor. It's in the expedites that's available. So if that's something that you want to use, I think, hold on. Let me see. There is a legend that you guys can see on that listing where if it's the little evil eye or the little fire emoji, that tells you what it is. There was something, someone had asked what I recommended. So hold on. I would, where is it? If you are concerned about so many people in your family, I would suggest a family tritonal Christic shield. And then also the Lilith, well, that one is for one person. I would also look into the defensive Prima Tesseract. That's a fucking badass. That's a badass activation. Defensive Prima Tesseract. Do you know what a tesseract is? I can construct one made of tritonal frequencies. And it's encoded in such a way that it is perpetually fueled. I love being the thorn in the side of demonics. That's why they don't like me. I don't give a shit. I don't like you either. That's fine. Mutual disdain. Fuck out of here. Okay. So radical expansion. If you can, stay centered within yourself, and that doesn't necessarily mean you need to buy expedites or all kind of crazy stuff. Staying centered within yourself is very, very powerful. By virtue of your centeredness, as a natural byproduct, you will be balanced. So, as you balance from your centeredness, you will experience radical expansion. Your codes will match the higher planetary codes that are coming in. These higher planetary codes is what's setting the stage for a system reboot for the entire planet. A system reboot. That system reboot is going to go from the ground floor up. It's going to be infused in the root chakra, which is going to change the way we exist as humans. Now, you notice I'm not saying anyone is getting left behind. You notice I'm not implying that if you don't purchase expedites or join me tonight, you're going to be left behind. This beautiful bounty of a gift, it's for everyone. It is. It's for everyone. It doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter what you practice. It's for everyone. It's part of our birthright. As those who entered into planetary contracts, it's for you as well. That means anything and everything that exists right now on this earth, it's for you. Space is being created because something is being formed, but they're trying to get you into a space of inconsistency. So space is being created by something that is being formed, something powerful, something life altering, something very, very healing for the collective whole that exists on Earth, inside Earth, and in parallel spaces to Earth. What's happening though is they're trying to interfere with that fuel. It requires critical mass for us to choose as a critical mass, meaning more than half. It requires critical mass where we choose to allow ourselves to enter into that new space of being. The earth is not going to split in two. Like, stop. Yeah, and they're taking down TikTok. They tell you guys all kind of shit. They accuse me of trying to scare you when I'm just speaking very matter of fact. But they'll say all this crazy shit to try and get you all riled up so that you operate out of fear. No, stop. Just focus on what you need to do right now. Focus on staying centered, finding center and staying there. Focus on allowing yourself to choose to receive that birthright from your ancestors in this life and all the lives you've lived before this one, on planet and off. Let me tell you. So I think it's over 13,000 documented clients at this point. It's a lot of fucking people. Over 13,000 documented sessions. And it's extremely rare. I think it's only happened once where someone has had less than a handful of lives. We've all lived so many lives. You know what I'm saying? We have all lived so many lives. What's that mean? You too fucking old to be operating from a space of fear. That's what that means. Your soul is too fucking old to be operating from a space of fear. Stop. Allow the fear to bring your attention to what you need to pay attention to and then move decisively. Right? Allow your brilliance to shine. Those who have chosen the other path, the path that leads them to circle back down into a density that their soul is trying to get them to spiral up and out of, they're going to see your light and they're not going to be able to receive it in the proper context. They're going to be accusatory. They're going to be combative. They're going to be adversarial towards you. Ignore those people. They're fucking petty and they are inconsequential to your journey. They are inconsequential to your journey. Focus, focus, focus. It's a small window you are operating in. Very small window you are operating within. You can completely change your entire life. Wanting to change your life is not about you being ungrateful about the beautiful life you've already lived. Stop gaslighting yourself with excuses as to why you shouldn't receive this, why you shouldn't allow this. Let it happen for you. Make it happen for you. Choose the options. Choose it all. Choose whatever resonates with you. Okay? So I will be live later today for the Blood Moon Lunar Eclipse Fire Ceremony. Click on this QR code or the link in the comment if you want to see what I have available. Defensive Prima Vata Tesseract. That was fucking badass. I've never offered that before on expedites. Neither have I ever offered before the Lilith armor. So those are specifically for what's happening right now. Also, I have 3, I believe, seats left for the Quantum Potential in-person event. This is definitely something, if you guys want to be a part of it, you need to make sure you hurry, because once those seats are gone, that's it. Excuse me. So it will be an in-person event. You will need to travel to where I am. Please don't be weird with me. Don't scare me. No, it's going to be fine. Excuse me. And then what else? Oh, no, that's not it. Because my students asked when I can offer the Baneful Protection Workshop again, which I had zero intention of doing it, but I'm all about assisting my students in helping them to feel safe in any circumstance that they enter into. So because multiple students requested in the last class, I've made this available. This is the last time I'm doing it. This is the last time I'm doing it. Okay. I don't want to teach this type of class. I'm not afraid to. I just haven't quite processed the lifetimes where I was a very elevated practitioner of baneful magic. Baneful magic, in its truth and origins, was released to those who were exceptionally skilled with magic, so that they can stand as the protectors against the watchers of old. Baneful magic was not introduced into humanity to harm others. It was originally intended to be used to protect. The type of baneful magic that I teach, it's not just a protective baneful magic. It is something that I remember. I was not taught any of the things that I teach. These are memories that were left intact through lifetimes, and I was allowed to remember it in this one. So the baneful protection magic that I teach in this workshop, it transcends human limitations. It goes beyond what we're taught to do as humans. It's extremely potent, extremely potent. So if you missed the last time, that's available now. All right, guys, I gotta go. All the things that I shared, if you're on TikTok, if you click on the link in my bio on my TikTok profile, you'll be able to see all of these things. I will see you guys later today. If you're going to be present for the fire ceremony, it starts around 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Aside from that, I hope everyone has a fabulous pre-blood moon lunar eclipse day and evening. I'm going to get going. I hope you guys